And welcome to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in on Wednesday night. We've got a lot to get to in this show. A lot of high school football. We're going to talk some girls flag football as well with the Norco Cougars. We got Redlands high school volleyball a little bit later in the show as well. The Terriers are having another great season. A lot of great highlights to get to as well here on the show. But we want to start things off as we send our prayers out to Kainoa Ching and the Vista Marietta High School football team. This past week, the Broncos had a big game against the Chaparral Pumas. And in this game, Kainoa Ching suffered a devastating injury, and it was pretty scary. Both teams coming to midfield. You'll see in just a moment the ambulance had to come and take him away. I'm not going to play the role of doctor here, but I'm going to read part of a statement that came from Vista Marietta High School. The last one I saw was on Tuesday evening, but the good news is he is doing better. So praise God that Kainoa Ching is doing better. And again, that was the scene this past week in that big game against Chaparral. Kainoa Ching, big-time linebacker for Vista Marietta. He was a great defender last year for Marietta Mesa, helping them win a CIF championship. But again, here is the statement. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It says, there is still a significant road ahead. Please continue to keep Kainoa and his family in your thoughts and your prayers. Our program and the Ching family are absolutely overwhelmed by the incredible outpouring of love and support for Kainoa. The family, the football team, and the booster community are in awe of the kindness and the generosity that has been shown. Words cannot fully describe the gratitude we feel for every prayer lifted, every encouraging message sent, and every single donation, no matter the size. Each one will make a difference during this difficult time and has reminded us all of the strength of our community. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. That was from the Vista Marietta football program. And as they mentioned, you can make a donation. They are welcome. There is a GoFundMe account. In fact, let me pull that up real quick. There it is. You can find the GoFundMe account right now. They're trying to raise $40,000 for the medical expenses for Kainoa. I encourage you, if you can, every little bit helps. And here at the Inland Sports Show, we are going to make a donation. We appreciate everyone's prayers for Kainoa, man. We all love high school football. We understand some of the risks that go with it, but we love high school football. And this was kind of a freak accident. So please, if you can, support Kainoa Ching and his family, support the Vista Marietta High School football program. And Kainoa, we are definitely praying for you on a speedy recovery. It sounds like, again, based on the statements we're seeing from Vista Marietta, that things are going in the positive direction. So praise God for that. So we wanted to start the show off with that because when one of ours gets injured like that, we want to make sure that they are in our thoughts and prayers and at the forefront before we get to all the other high school football stuff. All right, so for Vista Marietta, obviously a lot on their minds, heavy hearts this week, but they've got another huge game in the Big West. Every game is big. They've got Centennial this week, the perennial favorite, of course, in the Big West Upper. So things get tough for the Broncos real fast here in the Big West. Another big game. Let's take a look at some of the other big games. Excuse me, coming up this week in week number 7. We're going to bounce around a little bit. Rev versus Redlands in the Smudge Pot game, one of the best and oldest rivalries we have in the Inland Empire. And now, this is a meaningful game. Let's say Beaumont and Cajon battle for the CBL championship. Well, 3rd and 4th place are going to be very important because those are going to be playoff spots. Probably 4th place as well, I'd imagine, out of the CBL. But you got to have a winning record. So this is a very important game between the Wildcats and the Terriers, beyond being a big rivalry game. In the Ivy League, Liberty against Orange Vista. Orange Vista, you're back-to-back Ivy League champions. But Liberty, the Bison, coming off a big win against Vista Del Lago last week. So here comes Liberty. Norte Vista, they will take on Patriot in the River Valley League. Our Patriot winning on the road at Ramona last week to set up this showdown. Excuse me. The Jacks, San Jacinto, will be at home against Elsinore. The Tigers might be the number 1 contender to give the Jack, their best game, for that Mountain Pass League championship. So that should be a good one. Pacific and Indian Springs, first place on the line in the Mountain Valley League. Both teams 2-0. to start off league play. We mentioned Chaparral coming off that win against Vista Murrieta. The Pumas now get Murrieta Valley. This probably could have been our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week, but I feel like every single week there's a game in the Big West Upper that could be the Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. So we can't pick a Big West game every single week, but that is a huge, huge game. It goes without saying. Number 2 versus number 3 in our Bass Top 25. And finally, in the Big West Lower, Murrieta Mesa against Gray Oak. Big-time league title implications in that game. All right, so those are some of the top games in week number 7. But this week for our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game, we are going with Cajon taking on Beaumont. Now, Beaumont won the CBL championship last year. Can they do it again? Well, they're going to go on the road to Jaden Daniels Stadium and take on a Cowboys team that has won a lot of CBL games, a lot of CBL titles. But can they beat Beaumont on their home field at Jaden Daniels Stadium? It's going to be a good one. Beaumont is tough this year. So that's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. You can't crown a league champion in week 7, like I said on social media, but that's a big but the winner of that game, you got to feel like they are in the driver's seat for that CBL crown. All right, let's take a look at the Bass Top 25. We just mentioned it moments ago. Let's take a quick look. Centennial number 1, followed by a bunch of Big West. Murrieta Valley and Chaparral going head-to-head this week. That's the great thing about the rankings, is that we're hypothetically saying who are the best teams, but when they play head-to-head on the field, we don't have to guess where they might be ranked. They're going to decide for us. They're going to decide on the field. So Murrieta Valley versus Chaparral, obviously huge. Vista Murrieta at 4, followed by Norco. Vista Murrieta versus Norco is obviously going to be a big game going forward in the Big West when that happens. Beaumont at 6, Cajon at 10. They are going head-to-head this week. We'll see if, we got the rankings right. Does Beaumont deserve to be at 6, or is Cajon to win on their home field? Maybe Cajon should be higher. We're going to find out. Rancho Cucamonga in at number 7. They just beat Damien, okay? And Aquinas lost a very close game to Damien, so that's kind of the common opponent. That's why we still have Rancho Cuca a little bit ahead of Aquinas. San Jacinto checks in at number 9. They beat Cajon head-to-head. So this time of the season, it's starting to get messy because you have to take into account the head-to-head matchups, but also how is the team playing right now in week number 7, or at least after week number 6? Because the way we rank them in week 0 or week 1 might be different than how we rank them right now. Some teams probably should have been higher, and some teams we probably put them too high and need to be lower. So we're trying to adjust on the fly. But the games, how they're playing right now, and the head-to-head matchups, they do matter when we put together the Bass Top 25. On the other side, Summit continues to knock on the door of the top 10. The Skyhawks are very good. Murrieta Mesa comes in at 12. Orange Vista fighting their way back up the rankings. They check in at number 13, followed by Great Oak, Elsinore King, Norte Vista, Etiwanda, Patriot, making big moves because they beat Ramona. They deserve it, making big moves all the way up to number 19, just ahead of Ramona, because if you watch the end of that game, we're going to show you in just a moment, that game could have went either way. Ramona could have won that game in the final second. So if Ramona had won, they would probably still be up at number 12 or 13. Roosevelt at 21, followed by Santiago. Roosevelt won the head-to-head game against the Sharks, so that's why the Mustangs are still a little bit ahead of Santiago. Followed by Moreno Valley. Moval with that big win against VDL. Rancho Verde back in the top 25, followed by Rim of the World. Put some respect on Mountain Ball. They are 6-0, and they have some good wins already this season. So we got to acknowledge Rim of the World. They are having a good year, because there's some other, there's a lot of bubble teams. A lot of bubble teams out there. In fact, I had to write them down. If we did a Bass top 30, not a top 25, I like a top 30. Here's would be the 5 bubble teams right now, just waiting in the wings. Yucaipa, Vista del Lago, Poly, Hillcrest, and Liberty. All right, there you go. If we had bubble teams, those would be the 5 schools right there on the bubble. And you can make a case for some other schools. Tockwitz, Grand Terrace, Harupa Hills is coming on strong. So, I mean, if I don't know, maybe we should do a top 50 in the Inland Sports Show coverage area. It's being very, very difficult, but we'll keep it at the top 25. We wanted to give some respect to Rim of the World because they have beaten some decent teams, and they are 6-0. So, time to put some respect on Mountain Ball. All right, now to some highlights right now. And we want to start with Khalil Abdul-Aziz, the 4-year starting quarterback for Orange Vista. He is approaching 10,000 career passing yards, and there has not been a lot of quarterbacks able to do that. I mean, we're talking about some big names like Jaden Daniels, Armando Herrera from Redlands East Valley led them to a CIF championship and a state title. You've got to be a 4-year starting quarterback and have a big year every single one of those seasons to get to 10,000. So Khalil Abdul-Aziz at Orange Vista, about, I think if my math is correct, 500, 600 yards away. He should get it by the end of this regular season. Might even get it in the next couple of games, to be honest. Khalil Abdul-Aziz. So we'll keep an eye on that as he approaches the 10,000 career passing yards milestone. Speaking of records, Ben Major had a major game for the King Wolves. You saw it first on the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV as Ben Major went for a school record 346 rushing yards in a win against Santiago. He also had 3 touchdowns. 44-28 was the final score, and we'll see what Ben Major can do as an encore as King will take on Corona High live on Riverside TV this week. He had 346 last week. What will he do this week? And we will have highlights on the Friday Night Pep Rally on Riverside TV. Myself and Jeff Gorham with all the scores and highlights and interviews and fun from week number 7 of the high school football season. That's this Friday, Riverside TV, going live at 11 p.m. Inland Sports. And time now for the Bass Athletics Play of the Week. Patriot versus Ramona. The late touchdown Villanueva to Jones to give the Warriors the lead, and then Patriot would have to lean on the defense to hold that lead as we take a look at one more angle of that touchdown catch by Jones at the back of the end zone. Garrett Jones there. So now the Patriot defense trying to do their job. Ramona would drive down all the way. Look at the catch. That's about the, 2-yard line? They would get to the doorstep, but Patriots defense would get the stop, and look how close it was. Ramona High School was literally inches away from being 6-0 on the season. Time would run out. Patriot was with a massive road victory at Ram High. And that's our Bass Athletics Play of the Week. And as we mentioned, now a huge game between Norta Vista and Patriot this week. The winner will have first place in the River Valley League. And speaking of Norta Vista versus Patriot, as we look at some girls flag football, this week on the Riverside Sports Update on Riverside TV, you can check out some highlights of the Braves and the Warriors. That's Alana Correa with the pick 6 for Patriot in the third quarter. That would tie the game at 13. But late in the fourth quarter, Norta Vista gets the game winner. Yoretzi Ivadarte, the game-winning catch from Destiny Morales, as Novi wins 19-13. All the highlights, girls flag football, we had Ramona against Loma Linda Academy as well this week on the Riverside Sports Update on Riverside TV. And another quick programming note on Sports Weekly on IEMG highlights in a post-game interview with San Bernardino when they had a battle with Aquinas in boys water polo. The Falcons going on the road to Cardinal City and winning 14-13, the final score. Remember, San Bernardino won a CIF boys water polo championship last year. Now they are just trying to survive a very tough Mountain Valley League and make the playoffs. Highlights and interviews this week on Sports Weekly on IEMG. And of course, we'll be back with Sports Weekly Live Saturday at noon with all your high school football scores and highlights for the San Bernardino area. So look for that on IEMG. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to talk more girls flag football. We're going to check in with the Norco Cougars. They're going to wrap up Big 8 League play next week, and then it is on to the playoffs for Coach Kim Kirkland and the Cougs. We'll be back here on the Inland Sports Show right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. For more information on the Bass Private School, visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun. All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified here on Wednesday night. We just covered a lot of high school football. How about some girls flag football? Man, the regular season is almost done. Like, what happened? Where did the season go? We got a lot of those league tournaments, those league carousels to wrap up the season for a lot of leagues. Not all the leagues do it, but a lot of the leagues do it. And then CIF playoffs. I think the brackets come out next Saturday. So here we go into the postseason. Now, one of the teams having a remarkable year. They've had a real bounce-back season. Now they got big goals going into the playoffs. The Norco Cougars. Coach Kim Kirkland has really turned that season, the team around this year. They're going to be playing for third place in the Big 8 League against Corona next Monday. And then it's on to the playoffs for the Cougs, and they're hoping to be playing their best football at the right time, trying to bounce back after a tough loss against Roosevelt, be better for it, and try to gain some momentum, some confidence going into the playoffs. So with all that said, here's the Norco Cougars on the Inland Sports Show. We got Coach Kim Kirkland, we got Noemi Rodriguez, Arianna Chaney, and Aaliyah Taylor right now on the show.
Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show as we're breaking down more girls flag football. We're checking in with the Norco Cougars. The playoffs are right around the corner, and Norco has big plans. They want to make a deep playoff run, but first they got to wrap things up next week against Corona in Big 8 League action. We got Coach Kim Kirkland, a couple of his stud players as well. And Coach, let me start with you. You guys had a great stretch. I mean, you had won 11 in a row. I know you dropped a tough one against Roosevelt, but let me just ask you about that winning streak first off. What did you like about your team during that winning streak? What were you guys doing well that you're thinking, okay, if we can continue that, get back to that, right, in terms of doing that in the playoffs, we might be able to stack some wins. What is this team doing well?
Well, we've been playing well as a team, and I think that's the core of our season this year, because last year we kind of had a lot of selfish players and they were all thinking about themselves, even if we had the talent. But this year we have a lot of talent all the way across the board and all facets. So I think that's the key for us this year, is that we've been sharing the ball. We can go deep, we can run. We got, blocking, we got, defense has stepped up a lot. So the offense is where we can score. We can put up numbers. It's just a matter of us, being able to receive and make something happen with the ball.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious, because girls flag football is, growing super fast in popularity, but still I know, a lot of teams are grabbing athletes from different sports, right, and trying to get them to come out and do flag football, or maybe just first-time athletes, as well. How much of it is just like, I don't know, trying to teach the basics or trying to keep it simple? And if you have players in the program for more than 1 year, if you can get a little advanced, right, and try some more sophisticated, play calling.
I think this year we've had more kids who played travel, and that's a plus versus when we first started. First started out, we were having to teach the kids how to play football, how to play the game. So this year is our third year coming into it. We got a lot of kids that are playing travel ball now. So it's becoming a lot easier. So we can throw more things at them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a cool wrinkle that you brought up too, that, the travel ball aspect. I mean, I don't know if there was even travel ball a couple of years ago, or, and now you, like you said, you might get players coming into the program already with experience. You're not having to teach them the basics. They can start at a different level, I suppose.
Right. Well, we're getting a lot of those kids are, right off the bat. For us, we only have 2 levels right now. A lot of the schools are trying to bring a fresh level. Mm-hmm. And so, mainly those kids or freshmen are going to be JV, but the ones that are stud athletes are going to be on varsity right off the bat. And sometimes for us, we just got lucky because we have a great core coming back, that we have our freshmen, better freshmen are staying down because we got so many good players that came back. So they're getting experience on JV, and then when they're ready to go up to the varsity the following year, they already got their feet wet.
Yeah. That's a great problem to have, right? To have so many players in the program and have players with experience, so that you can win now and you can also build for the future. It sounds like it's probably a win-win having so much attention to the program and girls wanting to come out and be a part of the team.
Yeah, because I mean, look at last year. We finished last in league, and here we finished this year. We finished first, and we went with keeping those players down, and then we brought these players up this year, and then it made us a better team this year.
Coach, that before I get to your players, that's a perfect segue. I'm just going to jump to this question real quick because I've seen some flag football here and there. I've seen some River Valley, I've seen some Ivy League, I've seen some Citrus Belt League, but the Big 8 League is tough. I mean, every team is great. There's great players on every team. So for you guys to have the success that you're having this year against some really good competition, what do you think it says about the team and the program where it's at right now?
I think that it says a lot. I mean, because we're in the Big 8. And so it's going to be competitive across the board, and anybody can win. And you've seen that last night, And so unfortunately, it's just any given day anybody can be beaten. So we just have to bring our game. We got to do what we do best, and then the rest will be on the table. We'll be fine.
All right, Coach, I'm going to come back to you, but let me go to your players real quick. I'm going to go left to right. Noemi Rodriguez, linebacker for the Cougs. And Noemi, Coach brought up the Roosevelt game on Monday night, so I guess I'll go there right, first. What happened in that game, and how can you guys maybe grow from that experience?
It was just we weren't 100% how we usually are. It was a tough week for us coming out, and it was just really hard to get some momentum going as a team. And they just capitalized on it and kept on just pretty much doing what they're doing. But our defense, we held them and we tried our best. Just other things that needed to correlate. And going forward, we will do better.
So, Noemi, were you on the team last year?
Yeah, I was. I played. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just curious. From last year to this year, I mean, how have you seen, a change in the program and having that winning mindset, that winning, attitude?
It's changed a lot. I remember my first year here. It was really. Everybody was so distant. It wasn't together as a team. And I feel like this year we're much together and we play more like a team. That's how we're able to get our win streak going. And we were just more together as a team. It just felt like we were a family and we were able to just play and we were having fun and all this stuff. But that's the difference from last year and this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some good teams in the Big 8 League. I mean, Roosevelt was really good last year, but everyone across the board is really good in the Big 8 League. Noemi, let me go to your teammate to your left, but on the screen right there in the middle, Arianna Chaney, center for the Norco Cougars. And Arianna, I know you guys had a great 11-game winning streak and then obviously got snapped against Roosevelt, but that's okay. You guys are going to regroup. You're going to get dialed in, lock in for the playoffs here. But, we were kind of talking a little bit off camera that, I don't know if you believe in, a good loss, but do you feel like, hey, we can actually learn from this? Of course you don't want to lose. You play to win the game, but maybe we can learn from this. Maybe we'll be in a similar situation in a playoff game and we can, be a better team for it and pull out a W the next time.
So I do believe in a good losing. I believe that God has a plan and we lost that game for a reason. It was kind of to humble us and to put us in our position to know you were not destined to win every single game. You were working hard and you played hard to win the game. The score was 13-18, which means we could have won the game. We should have won the game and we had perseverance to win the game. But some people didn't want it as much as other people and it was just off. We weren't playing the way we usually do, because if we did, we would have put more points on the board. And my coach does say that it's hard to beat a team twice, but we could have and should have beat that team.
Do you think you might see Roosevelt in the playoffs? I know we don't know exactly what playoff division, you'll be in for the playoffs, but I'd imagine you guys are probably, you're so close, talent-wise, you guys will probably end up in the same division.
Yeah, I believe that we will see them, maybe or maybe not face them again, but yeah.
All right, Coach, let me go to you real quick before I go to Aaliyah Taylor, a running back, because correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of a new wrinkle to girls flag football this year is you have more freedom in the running game, right? Like I feel like there was some rules where you couldn't run all the time or only in certain situations. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is the running game a little bit different this year compared to years past?
I don't think it's that much different. I think the blitzing is causing a little bit more havoc because now you can blitz at the 1 yard and versus 7 yard, and that's where it's caused. That's what changed the game a little bit. So I think that we're running the same way we ran last year. Just we are. You either got a faster runner or you don't, and that kind of thing. And you got more room to move and make adjustments based on that because you got a person who's trying to blitz from the 1 yard line. So it's pretty much the same.
All right, well, you've got Aaliyah Taylor playing running back. And Aaliyah, let me go to you back there on the end. Aaliyah, like in girls flag football, my first notion is, teams love to pass the football, but I've seen a lot of, running plays in girls flag football this season. How do you kind of see your role on this team, and how many touches do you get per game?
A lot of the time I run at least once each down, but I do tend to block way more than I run, which I feel that helps our quarterback get the ball off more to make more touchdown plays and to other people.
All right, Aaliyah. Aaliyah, help me out because I know there's certain things in terms of, like blocking. There's certain things you can do. Can you demonstrate? Like, you have to have your hands to your side or something? You can't have them out, or what is it?
Out, but you can have them across your chest, behind your back, or on your side. They have to stay in your figure.
And how important is that in terms of the offense being able to function at a high level? Because, obviously your quarterback needs time and, you're trying to give her time to move around in the pocket and find the open receiver. How important is of course you want to run the football, but blocking as well, that's important.
Yeah, I feel it's very important. I feel it's been helping our QB get the ball off more and give the rest of the receivers a chance to actually get touchdowns. Without the blocking and them blitzing at the 1 yard line, I feel our QB might not be able to get the ball off if we didn't block.
Mm-hmm. All right, Aaliyah, so next Monday you guys will play Corona, and that'll wrap up league play, and then the playoffs will follow after that. What do you feel like you guys have to do against Corona to get the win, to kind of get back to your winning ways and do things that you guys have been doing all season long?
I feel that we have to lock in, get a better mindset, and not go into the game feeling like we're going to win it, but go into the game wanting the win and needing the win. And I feel possibly we have to more change our way of catching the ball to actually be able to catch it for the QBs, for the receivers to actually make the touchdown.
All right, good stuff, Aaliyah. Let me go back to Coach Kirkland to wrap things up here, Coach. And again, I kind of, mentioned it with some of your players about a good loss or maybe a wake-up call or something to get their attention. Do you feel like in a way that, hey, losing to a really good Roosevelt team, of course you play to win the game, but hey, maybe this is, open our eyes a little bit. This will be the wake-up call to get our attention. Like, hey, we cannot slip up. We don't have a lot of games left here in the season. We got to stay locked in and make those catches, make those blocks, maybe some of the basic things that you guys have been, practicing and doing all season long.
Well, I think we're gonna go back to our basic foundation as far as in our practice. It's been almost 2 months since we actually had hard practice because we've been playing so many games and we had a winning streak. So we've been trying to give the girls a little bit of a breather. And so tomorrow we're going back to basics. We're going back to running and doing ladders and doing the drills and things of that nature so that we can get back to basic fundamentals. And so I think that's where we need to get back to our roots. And then once we've done that, we'll be prepared and ready to go on Monday.
So, Coach, give me the timeline. So you got Corona on Monday, and then what day do the playoff brackets come out?
The brackets won't come out until Saturday.
Until Saturday.
That following Saturday, yes.
Okay, very good. And then that game for Corona is for third place in the Big 8 League, and is it at your place, or where's that game going to take place at?
That game is at your favorite spot, Santiago.
Don't say that. People say you went there. I'm like, no, I did not go there. I did not go there. Well, Coach, listen, congratulations on a great season so far. I know there's still some unfinished business for this Norco flag team.
Very unfinished business.
Yeah, but to consider where you guys were last year to where you are right now, already a huge turnaround, Coach.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah, well, Coach Kirkland, thank you so much for your time. Noemi Rodriguez, Arianna, Chaney, Aaliyah Taylor across the back here at Norco High School. Thank you guys so much. Best of luck against Corona, and good luck in the playoffs coming up.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Pep.
You got it, Coach. That is the Norco flag football team here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
That was awesome. Good stuff from Coach Kirkland and the Cougs. Again, wrapping up Big 8 League play against Corona next Monday, and then on to the playoffs. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to talk some volleyball with Redlands on the verge of another Citrus Belt League championship. We got Coach Flowers and the Terriers next here on the Inland Sports Show right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student-athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. For more information on the Bass Private School, visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
The other big game, of course, our guy, Jaden Daniels, the pride of Cajon High School in San Bernardino, came back from a knee injury. He came back in Southern California, taking on the Chargers, and he led the Commanders to a 27-10 victory against the Lightning Bolts. Jaden, 231 through the air. He also had a touchdown, and Washington with that defense holding the Chargers to just 10 points in this game.
Our boy out there with that knee brace, and he did it.
Yeah, he did it, man. And if I listen to all the press conferences. I'm a nerd like that. I love all that stuff. He said, actually, the last couple of weeks, he probably could have played. Like, if it was the playoffs or if it was a huge, meaningful game at the end of the regular season, he could have played. But they held him out. And Marcus Mariota is a great backup for Washington and one of the better backups in the league. So I don't feel like they needed to rush him back. Probably that's what the organization felt like. They could kind of play it cautiously. Well, they brought him back on the road against the Chargers in Southern California, where it all started for Jaden Daniels, and he got the win. So I would assume that is a special victory for our guy Jaden.
Yeah, they're set up well. It shows you how good it is to have a quality backup.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. The stunning game of the weekend, maybe of the season, maybe of the century. I don't know. It was that big. It was winless UCLA taking on, I think Penn State was number 6 or number 7 in the country, depending on what rankings you looked at, who they had just lost to the Oregon Ducks in a very, very close game. Well, UCLA beat the Nittany Lions at the Rose Bowl, 42-37, the final score. Patrick, when that score came through, I was not watching it. I was watching something else. I had to triple check it because I'm like, there is no way UCLA beat Penn State, but man, they sure did.
I did. I have a couple of friends who went to UCLA, and I mean, they were popping champagne bottles. They won the Super Bowl. It was absolutely unbelievable. You got to imagine that James Franklin is going to be out at Penn State. I mean, let's remember, Pep, at the beginning of the season, a lot of people thought this was Penn State's year.
Yeah, people thought Penn State was a national championship favorite. Think about it. I think Texas was number 1, Penn State was number 2, and Ohio State was number 3 to start the season. Right now, on this Monday morning, Texas and Penn State are not ranked in the top 25 anymore. So we talked about the parity in the NFL and that anything can happen. College football is very similar. I mean, for UCLA, who's winless, to beat Penn State and was a national championship favorite, it's just crazy. It's just from out of nowhere. So that was a huge win for UCLA. Does it jumpstart their season? I don't know. They got interim head coach Tim Skipper. Jerry Neuheisel's getting a lot of credit. He's the offensive coordinator for the Bruins. He might be their next head coach, to be honest, Jerry Neuheisel. So I don't know. We'll see what they do going forward. But at least right now, in the moment, you're right. That was their Super Bowl moment this season.
Well, I mean, there's one thing that Tim Skipper can say. He just got a top 10 victory that James Franklin does not seem to be able to get.
Inland Sports.
All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Talking sports with my guy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. I mean, every Monday and Thursday for the last 13 years. It's been a long time. So love talking sports with him. He's a big football fan, loves his Seattle team. So we have a good time. That's KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. But right now we want to talk some high school girls volleyball. The Redlands Terriers are having another big season. They are the back-to-back Citrus Belt League champions, and they are working on a 4-peat this season. They had a big win just last week against Beaumont, a 5-set thriller to kind of set the stage for them to win another CBL championship, although still some volleyball matches to play, but they are looking strong. Here's the Terriers and Coach Flowers on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
They are the back-to-back Citrus Belt League champions of the world. Redlands girls volleyball. Yes, we got Coach Flowers. We got 3 of her star players as well. And Coach Corinne Flowers, first off, I was kind of looking at, at Max Preps. I know you've been at Redlands for a while, but there was something about the team coming out of COVID. You guys just, I don't know if you start coaching differently or all that time at home, you were plotting all these great plays. But what the last couple of years since, 2022 to this point, what has been the key to your success with the program, would you say?
I think coming out of COVID, we had Julia Tolstova, who was a sophomore, and she was just a really heavy hitter for us.
That helps, right?
Yeah. And I think when you get some really good players, then other players want to come to your school. And so we've been pretty fortunate to have some players transfer from other schools. Cam came from Cajon, and along with her came Gianna. Last year we had Sanaya, also came from Cajon, and Debbie came from Rev. So we've had some pretty good transfers come and people move into our area that we haven't anticipated. So that's been very helpful.
Well, the CBL is absolutely tough. I mean, you guys obviously already know that. I know you guys are coming off a 5-set thriller against Beaumont. Actually, the second 5-set battle you've had with Beaumont. I know they're having a great season too. What do you think it says about your team when you go up against another really good opponent and it goes to a 5th set, but you guys find a way to win?
I think with volleyball, it's when you play people who are so close, rotations can be stronger. And so it's really trying to find the right lineup to start in. Me and my assistant aren't afraid to start in different rotations, depending on who we play. And I think that's something that my assistant has made me stronger at, saying, okay, we're going to start in row 2 so we can have these people matched up with these people. I was a little concerned in this 5-set match. We looked a little down after set 3, and then we started off slow in set 4. And, we just had to make some subs and take some risks, and it paid off. And we all just played really well as a team. Our bench was on fire, and our crowd was great.
Well, Coach, let me go to some of your players, then I'll circle back to you. But let me start with Natallia Caravia. Natallia, I think you're on my screen right, but on the left-hand side, depending on which way you're looking at it. But Natallia, as a senior for Redlands High School, what were the goals maybe going into the season? Was it another CBL title? It'd be a 4-peat if you guys can do it this year, and CIF, make a run there. What were some of the goals you had for this team?
Yeah, it was kind of difficult because we lost some of important players last year, but it was important, especially in the beginning of the season, to make sure that we have good chemistry, and then again get another CBL title, and then try to go as far as we can in CIF.
So as a senior, you said you lost some good players from last year's team. Did you see your role maybe change a little bit, being a senior and being one of the more experienced players?
Yeah, I also knew because seeing other seniors from previous years, how they had to step up and be a leader, and then also them as a player kind of have to work harder to be an important player on the team. So I think that kind of influenced me to do that as well.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Natallia. Let me ask you this. So, watching the players that came before you when you were, an underclassman, the way they practice, the way they play, the way they just kind of handle their business. Do you feel like in a way that just even the way you act, you're, showing the younger terriers hey, this is what it means to play at Redlands. This is what you need to do if you want to be successful and play for Coach Flowers.
Yeah, I think my first year on varsity, I was very, very timid and as a player and even a person. And I think, honestly, some of the people on the team who came, for example, Cam and Gianna, this year, one of our freshman middles, Gia, I think everyone combined, I think the chemistry helped, and it also helped, especially this year and last year, to kind of bring me out, and not just me, as other people as well. So I think that helped with our chemistry, volleyball wise, because we connected all better. We were more outspoken, and we were just louder, on the court and at practice and just in general with each other. So
yeah, that's important. Chemistry, communication, all that stuff is very important in volleyball. Good stuff, Natallia. Let me go to Ava Reyes now. I'm just going in line on my list. And Ava, I know we can't crown a Citrus Belt League champion quite yet, but you guys are pretty darn close. I mean, those were 2 big wins against Beaumont that you've had in CBL play so far. To get the 4-peat, to win a league championship this year, what do you think it would mean to you guys, especially the seniors, to continue that legacy of great Redlands teams?
I think it will be a good thing for our team, because hasn't Rev they've only done it once, right?
They've done it twice.
So it's not a common thing in the Citrus Belt League for teams to go on a four-peat. I think three-peat's rare, and then four-peat at that is even more rare. So I think it would mean a lot to the team and to myself especially, and all seniors, because I've been on the team since I was a freshman. So that means every single year, if we get it this year, I would have got a title. So I think it means, especially to seniors and myself, it means just a little more. It's a little more important.
Yeah, why stop now, right? You want to be a senior and win another league championship. There's not a lot of players that can say that. They've won a league championship every single year that they put on that Redlands uniform. So, Ava, take me back to that Beaumont victory you guys had last week. I mean, those Beaumont battles are classic now. I know they've had a pretty good run, too. They've had some good teams and good players go through their program. But to win in 5 sets twice against Beaumont this year, but the last one last week, what do you think was the difference in that final frame?
I think it was 4 set, and we were down a little, like a lot in the beginning of the match. And I just remember we just stepped up our defense. I think that's one thing that really frustrates them. Even the players told me after that we had really good defense. So they would hit the crap out of the ball and we would just keep digging it, and then we would find a way to score. And I think defense definitely stepped up and probably won the game. And I think our energy on the bench, the court, and all the players, I think that really helped us too. It gave us more power to fight. So
do you feel like this team just doesn't give up? Like, where do you think that comes from? Like, hey, we might be down, but we're not going to stop fighting. We're going to keep, battling here.
I just think we all want it. And I think that's all it really takes is even if it takes to the 4th set, the middle, when we're losing, we still realize that we do want it and we're going to pick it up and we do it and we win.
All right, good stuff, Ava. Let me go to Kameryn Carpenter now. And Kameryn, you're a junior. You're the baby of the group, at least in this interview. Cam, let me ask you about this team. I know there's still, Coach, maybe like 3 league games left. I think there's a tournament somewhere still on your schedule too before CIF. But Kameryn, what would you like to see this team improve somewhere? Give me something where you're like, hey, we're pretty good in this area, but if we could just be a little bit better, we're gonna really click and get ready for a playoff run.
I feel like we're consistent in like a lot of the aspects, but maybe like running like different plays and like trying to catch our opponents off guard and like just throw different like things together.
Well, Cam, let me ask you. So the next couple of weeks, how do you stay locked in, if I can use that term? How do you stay locked in and focused? I know you win these battles with Beaumont. You still got a couple league matches to go before you can officially win another league title and get to the playoffs. How do you continue this high level of play and stay locked in so you can make a playoff run?
Well, I feel like what helps us stay locked in is the fact that we're having fun and we want to be there, but also like we know it's still not going to be easy because other teams have nothing to lose and they're just trying to see like if they can beat us, and we're just trying to stop that. So it's still not easy, and it's still like we know people are coming for us, so we're staying locked in.
Well, 3 CBL championships in a row, 2022, 23, 24, and possibly this year as well. What does it mean to you, Cam, to wear a Redlands uniform? Obviously, that's going to carry a lot of weight, having that Terriers, gear on you, and what it means to the local community.
It means a lot because like coming in just like new environment, new school, new everything. It's just like I wanted to like carry that on, and I just like playing with all these people and playing for Wingo and Flowers, and it feels nice to be part of a program that's so successful, and like seeing how Flowers and Wingo treat like the alumni. I want them to be like proud of me too when I leave and be like, oh yeah, Kameryn was here, we got a 4-peat this year, so I think that helps, and that feels nice.
Awesome. Thank you, Cam. Let me go back to Coach Flowers to wrap things up. And, Coach Redlands, we talk about the long blue line. What is it, 1891? Yeah, 1891. I think volleyball was, in the early 70s?
I think so.
Is that sound right? So, I mean, any way you slice it, tradition runs deep at Redlands High School. Volleyball, just the school in general, You've had this great run the last couple of years. What does it mean to you to bring a winner to Redlands and be playing and beating some really good teams so that you are one of the elite teams in the IE?
It means a lot. I mean, when I took over the volleyball program, I had coached water polo previously for 5 years, and I was going to step back from coaching, and then the volleyball job came open, and I met Heather Wingo, my assistant, and we've been together for 14 years, and There are days, some years that were pretty rough, and we're like, one day we'll get this, we'll stick it out. And I think it, obviously winning is awesome, but part of having a winning program, it's difficult at times to keep everybody going in the right direction and to keep everybody balanced. And something that I think I've prided myself on with this program is just kind of keeping the chemistry good and understanding that girls, high school girls will sometimes not get along, but we've seen really talented programs kind of not perform as well because they're not moving in the same direction. And I feel like these girls all work hard. They're extremely competitive. I mean, if me or Wingo miss the line call in practice, it's like World War III. That was in, that was out, so, and just kind of keeping the practices competitive so that when we get into those tight situations, they're ready for it. I mean, it's never the same in practice, but, I don't know. It's nice to win. It's fun to see these girls succeed and to build confidence.
And as you as the coach, I mean, you talked about there was some ups and downs, right, in the program. I mean, and some lean years. I mean, yeah. I think there was like a 6-win season, maybe like 6-7 years ago or something like that. Sorry, I had to do it. But really, I think it was like 7 years ago or something like that, 6 wins. Do you appreciate, the teams and the players and just the seasons when things are going really well like they are this year? Do you kind of like step back and you're like, man, it wasn't always like this. I'm going to enjoy this because this is a lot of fun right now.
Yeah. Sometimes like me and Wingo have to remind ourselves like, hey, do you remember when we had 2 wins in league and our goal was just to try to make playoffs? And now, setting and high school sports is up and down. So you never know when it's going to be lean again, and just trying to stay true to like what we're doing as a whole. I mean, we're trying to build assertive, strong young women so that when they go off into the real world, they can take care of themselves, they can feel confident, and knowing that whether we're winning or losing, obviously we want to win. We're very competitive, but our main goal is to make these girls feel supported and confident. And I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm hoping it lasts a lot more years, but like you said, CBL is strong.
Of teams moving into the CBL, so you're right. You just never know. And Beaumont's booming. Ukaipa's, like you said, a one-town, one-school team, and so there are a lot of factors into it.
Yeah.
But Coach, thank you so much for your time. Natallia, Ava, Kameryn, thank you so much as well. Congrats on the season so far, and best of luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, it's going to be a 4-peat and a deep CIF run.
That's what we're hoping for.
All right, that's the Redlands volleyball team here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. All right, good stuff from Coach Flowers and the Terriers here on the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck, ladies, the rest of the way. We really appreciate your time for hopping on the show. Big thanks as well to the Norco girls flag football team. And we really appreciate it because we know this is a busy time and an important time for our fall sports teams as they push for league titles and get ready for the playoffs. So thank you to all the teams, the coaches, and athletes that make time for us here on the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez here on the Inland Sports Show. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. You can find us also on all platforms on social media, especially Instagram and X. We're also on Facebook a little bit, but you can find us there as well. And if you're a local business or an organization and you'd like to promote yourselves and also in return promote positive sports stories here in the IE, hit us up, inlandsportshow@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on one of our social media accounts too. That's an easy way. Again, I'm Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night, everybody.